Hare Krishna! Welcome, dear friends, to another episode of the daily Bhagavatam Mirror, episode number 34. I had a little break, that was on last Sunday. We had a podcast session on the topic the importance of a daily spiritual practice. You can see it in my Facebook timeline if you scroll a little bit down, but I will make a comment with the YouTube link. And that was on Sunday, and on Hare Krishna. And on Monday we had a very nice school program in Bielefeld. We were invited by a school class to present 1 hour Hinduism. So of course, as you know, Hinduism is a big word. There are so many ideas, worldviews and traditions in Hinduism. So we gave them both a general overview on Hinduism, but also we gave them some insight in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So that was Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday we had some trouble here in the house with some water problem, but fortunately a friend of us could... Oops, I'm sorry. But somehow a friend of us... One second. This is when you perform live podcast. You don't know what will happen. So I have to buy myself a new tripod, I guess. So by a good friend, he could help us with this problem. So and now we will continue finally with the daily Bhagavatam Mirror. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana Jaya Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayat. Nashta Prayeshva Vatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavatyutama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So, we continue reading from the 11th canto, 8th chapter, text 37, and it is the story of Pingala. So, one second. Okay. So the Sanskrit goes like Nunang me Bhagavan Prito Vishnu Kinapi Karmana Nirvedo Yang Durashaya Yanme Jata Sukavaha. Translation. Although I, here again the prostitute Pingala is speaking, although I most stubbornly hoped to enjoy the material world, somehow or other detachment has arisen in my heart, and it is making me very happy. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, must be pleased with me. Without even knowing it, I must have performed some activity satisfying to him. So I will read the following also. There is no purport. Maivangsyo mandabhagyaya klesha nirveda hetavaha yenanu bandham nirritya purusha shamang richati. A person who has developed detachment can give up the bondage of material society, friendship and love, and a person who undergoes great suffering gradually becomes, out of hopelessness, detached and indifferent to the material world. Thus, due to my great suffering, such detachment awoke in my heart. Yet, how could I have undergone such merciful suffering if I were actually unfortunate? Therefore, I am in fact fortunate and have received the mercy of the Lord. He must somehow or other be pleased with me. And one last verse for today, text 39. Teno prakritam adaya shirasa gramya sangataha tyaktva durasha sharanang vrajami tam adi shvaram. Translation. With devotion I accept the great benefit that the Lord has bestowed upon me. Having given up my sinful desires for ordinary sense gratification, I now take shelter of Him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So here again we can hear this prostitute Pingala lamenting. We can hear how she laments. And as I explained in our last session, or the session before the last one, we can lament in a material way, but we can also lament in a spiritual way. And Pingala here, she gives a nice example how we can lament in a spiritual way. So what is the difference between material and spiritual lamentation? The difference is, material lamentation, you become just very depressed, morose, and inactive regarding spiritual activities. You think, I am too fallen, I cannot engage myself in spiritual life. I cannot serve Krishna. I am too impure. I cannot read the Bhagavad-gita or the Srimad Bhagavatam. I cannot chant Hare Krishna or even be a vegetarian, because it is anyway for nothing. I am anyways so fallen that this won't all give me any success. I cannot offer my food to Krishna before I take it myself, and so on and so forth. This is the result of material lamentation. We become very passive, and that might take for some days. We become very passive regarding spiritual life, and the more we become passive in our spiritual activities, the more our material desires will overtake us, overwhelm us, and we automatically, gradually, we again think about material sense gratification. So this is the sign of material lamentation, or the result. And the result of spiritual lamentation is, yes, we also sometimes we lament, oh, I'm very, very fallen, and I have forgotten Krishna for such a long time, and I have not properly chanted the holy name with attention and with love and devotion. So, and I have engaged myself in sinful activities and in useless sense gratification. So, but what is the outcome now of this realization of my fallen state? The outcome is that I get myself together, as we sometimes hear in English, get alive. In German we would translate it as werde mal erwachsen jetzt, übernehm mal Verantwortung, take up responsibility for yourself, for your life, and also for your spiritual life. So then the outcome is, yes, from now on I will become more serious, more sincere in my spiritual practice. So, and this can have practical symptoms, or this should have practical symptoms. For instance, we can decide, I will raise up earlier in the morning, not at, 8 o'clock, and then immediately dive into all these material activities, like going to our job or so many family affairs. No. And then if we do that, we wonder that, let's say, 6 hours later, our head is so full of material thoughts and activities that we cannot any more focus on spiritual life. Therefore, we can take the decision, I will raise up earlier in the morning. Rise up, I think. Rise up is the correct English word. I will rise up earlier in the morning. Let's say, why not at 5 o'clock or even at 4 o'clock? We can make it to our habit. Of course, then we have to go to sleep earlier. But if we are intelligent, we can somehow organize our daily schedule in such a way that we can go to bed at 10 o'clock or even at 9 o'clock. So, and then we have some 1 or 2 extra hours where we can solely and exclusively focus it on spiritual practice, like chanting Hare Krishna on a beat bag, in a beat bag, or reading some verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, or singing some songs for Krishna. So this is then all possible, and then automatically our whole day becomes more spiritualized and serene. So this would be a practical decision, and that might be an outcome of this kind of lamentation that we hear now in these pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So what Pingala also says is that due to suffering, we might become indifferent to material life. Someone has written a comment here, or having a bona fide spiritual master. Yes, that is a very good idea, that we realize, I have such a fallen life behind me. Let's seek for a teacher, for an advanced spiritual person who can help me, who can teach me in my spiritual life and give me some guidance. So Pingala says that suffering in the material world can lead to that we become indifferent towards material affairs. And I don't know about you guys, but maybe you also had in your life a phase or situation where we all had some suffering, and we become more deep. We thought more deeper about our life and the purpose of our existence. And we realized that there are many things in our life that are actually not that important. So, and we focus on those things who are really important. And for this, sometimes a disease or some painful situation, or that some people might take distance from you, or you are in a relationship, but that relationship is not very healthy for your spiritual life, and it breaks, and then you realize, this relationship was not very constructive. Let me focus on the real important things in my life, like spiritual consciousness. And then it often happens that a new relationship might develop with a partner that is also interested in advancing in spiritual life. So in this connection, I can remember that some years ago there was one politician in Germany. He was actually what is the exact term in English? In German we say Außenminister. It is a minister who is dealing with the foreign affairs. He flies to other countries, and he is talking with other representatives of other countries exclusively about their relationship, how they can improve their relationship. So there was a couple of years, there was that kind of minister in Germany, and he was always, I followed a little bit his life as a politician. He was always very aggressive, and he used a lot of polemic rhetoric, and he attacked often other people, other politicians, and he was quite mean. I often thought he was quite even evil sometimes. So, but then this minister, he became very, very sick. He got a kind of cancer, and he got the message that you guy will surely die within the next 12 months or so. And then this formerly very superficial person, aggressive, evil-minded person, politician, often are those ones, he changed completely, and he even not talked anymore about politics, just very, very rarely, because he said, well, this politics, this is all all this politics, this is all so superficial and so temporary. So he just talked in the later interviews about the deeper meaning of life, and that he wants to prepare now for death and for the future that might be there after that life. So that came into my mind reading this verses of Pingala, that suffering sometimes help us to understand what is important and what is less important in our life. So thank you for listening, and see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.